What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Random Things podcast here on the Random channel. We are on episode 17 here. We're going to be talking about some fun topics. But before we get to any of that shit, do me a huge favor. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel. We've had a lot of great traffic on our channel this last month. Tons. We've had like 10 like a thousand views on like close to 1,000 views, over 1,000 views on our videos, and we've had something like 100 hours of watch time, which is freaking crazy.
Fantastic.
So you guys are helping us out a lot. What we need more than anything is subs. Hit that subscription button. We want to try to get to 500 subs by the middle of summer movie season. If you could help us get there, it would be awesome. So anyways, gentlemen,
Tap.
tap the button.
Smash and subscribe.
We have a fun show today. We're going to talk about some Oscar stuff. We're going to talk about some Batman news. We're going to talk about The Crow, which that video has a lot of traction. The trailer dropped for The Crow today, so we will talk about that trailer and if our thoughts on the movie have improved since those first images were dropped. And we're gonna do a review of the Amazon movie Ricky Stanicky today, which we were all very excited for because you know how much this channel loves John Cena. So.
John Cena.
But before we get going with any of that, our buddy Mike Duggan has a story he'd like to regale to us. I have no idea. Let me preface this before you get started. I have no idea who we're going to offend with this story or anything like that. So just take it that Mike Duggan is 100% the most original dude out there. If this story offends you, it's his life. So let him live it.
No, it's not even offensive. It's like a real quick just tidbit. It was just something that gross just happened to me. And I was in the bathroom. I was showering the other day. And
another shower story. Gross.
Yeah, man. I really gotta. I've been Drano in this shower like nonstop, and I think it's a combination between my wife and my dog's hair. My dog's hair, like she sheds crazy, both of them. So and like the dog hair will like end up on your clothes, and like when you take like a shit, you get up and there's like dog hair on the toilet bowl. You're like, what the fuck is going on? Like I'm definitely not this hairy. I don't understand. So I think the volume of the sheer hair. I know you're a Care Bear. the sheer volume of the hair, I think, just like gets into the tub, and then like most of the time I like don't even look because it's not a murderer in there, so I just turn the water on, and I'm like, okay. So at this point, the water is like rising up to like my ankles. It's not like super bad at this point. So I take a few minutes of reflection and I do what I got to do in the shower and make sure it goes down the drain. And so I
you pooping in the shower?
Again. No, Dan. I jerked off in the shower, okay? And I ejaculated.
Okay.
I put it
I mean, that's where I went first, and then I was like, wait a second.
Well, I wasn't 100%
pooping in the shower.
Yeah. All right, yeah. So I was jerking off in the shower, Dan. Okay. So I fucking bust my load, make sure it goes down the drain. And not to my knowledge, because it's not down the drain, it's now ankle deep in water. So I'm like,
oh God, you're standing in your own freaking jizz soup.
It's like swimming around. So I'm like trying not to get it on my like leg hairs. Like, I get out of the shower, whatever. I get out of the shower. No, this isn't even the worst. So I get out of the shower and I'm letting the water drain down. So I take a peek in the shower before I leave. I'm like, all right, it's fine. So like a couple hours go by, and my wife's like, oh hey, I'm gonna jump in the shower. Do you need to use the bathroom? I'm like, fuck. I didn't fucking like do anything that required someone else to use the bathroom. I thought it was just going to be like, all right, go to bed. I'll deal with it later. So I'm like, oh yeah, let me just jump in there real quick. So I run in the bathroom, pull back the curtain. It's just like all dried up, like hair all over the tub, but it's all congealed because I'm like my semen. So I'm like scraping this up, and it's like glued like hair, like all everywhere, and it's like I couldn't like get it with like toilet paper, and like I'm rushing around. She said, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Give me a minute, please. I'm like trying to get this out of the tub." And like so, I end up getting enough of it and like throw it into the
paper mache out of this shit.
Oh, it was brutal. Yeah, it was not. It's way easier to just like not do that.
let me tell you something. So this is not at all related to this disgusting story that you told, but a little bit. It's my task in the house. My wife always says this is 100% your job. Whenever you start getting the backup our master bath has just a shower, no tub. But when that starts filling up, I mean, there's only like an inch lip. So if that thing overflows, we're fucked. So the second it starts building up at all, I have to usually clean the whole tub, take out
injection, Kevin.
Yeah.
Why is it your job when you have no hair on your head?
Exactly, Dan. That's
okay.
I was about to get to that. So I get the snake. I start pulling out all this nasty, basically, it's like a rat coming out of the drain. Like the amount of hair I'm pulling out.
Nick Bagarella would not be happy with this story right
now. It's
now.
disgusting. And all I can think is every time that I do it, I'm just like, all the nasty fluids that have left my body that have just been sitting on this fucking hair. And it smells horrible when it comes out of that drain. And I always ask myself every time I do it, I say, I don't even have hair on my head. Why am I the one who does this job? But I digress.
Every time I pull stuff out of the fucking drains, I show my wife exactly what she's leaving in there. Every fucking time.
Leave it on her pillow.
Right? And she gets so disgusted by it. So fucking disgusted. I go, well, that's you. I don't know how to tell you this. It's fucking gross. Right?
So last time I had to pull the hair out of the drain, I'm normally borderline ready to gag with this stuff. And I mean, I worked with a guy that had a colostomy bag. I had to change the colostomy bag. I'm really good at changing diapers. I'm really good at masking smells somehow. I just know how to breathe through my mouth properly to avoid the smell. So the smell doesn't get me. But I'm just going to town. I have a hook and a screwdriver, and I'm pulling stuff out, and I'm not fully looking at it. And then all of a sudden, I'm just so I had to leave. And when I came back, I finished it like this, just eyes mostly closed, so I could kind of see what I was doing. But I couldn't actually make out what the fuck I was pulling out.
That's pretty gross.
And that's just how I rolled with it. And, Kim Gentleman would be proud of the amount of hair that fell off my wife's head. That's an inside joke for Jeff Smith. Yes. I hope Nick Bagarella is watching. He loves drain hair. He loves hair in food as well.
Oh, yes. That video you showed us of him throwing up was pretty damn amazing. So thanks for the comment there, Smitty. You hit us up with anything you'd like, and we'll talk about it today, buddy. All right. Let's roll on here for some topics. I don't want to talk about this before I puke. Why don't we do the Crow first? Because that's pretty fresh. So that we obviously talked a lot of shit about, Trailer Park Eric Draven last week, but the trailer dropped today, and like I said, maybe the trailer will drop. It'll make me want to see this movie. I don't know if my expectations were so low that when I watched the trailer, I was like, you know what? This doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look awesome. So it won't be the best movie ever. It looks about as good as a Sony Marvel movie looks, with a little more violence. It's like John Wick.
A little more violence?
Yeah, John Wick meets the Trailer Park Boys.
Jesus Christ.
I think somebody needs to count how many times he gets killed in that trailer, because I feel like just in the trailer alone, it's 6.
Yeah. Well, here's one.
More.
This one's the worst.
That's the first one. Yeah.
That's the worst one.
By far the fucking worst.
That is a brutal looking image, is it not? Mm-hmm. God, that's terrible. I'll tell you this though, as we're going through it, the one part of this movie that I think looks really cool, and I don't know, it seems like this is probably the in between world or whatever, is this image right here. Or that's not it. I'm sorry. These are all fucking out of order. Here we go.
Like a warehouse.
This will change in a second, I think. There we go. This place that this guy's in, where this fucking random dude's talking to him.
And then he pushes him in the dookie water.
Yep. Yeah. The Duggan's bathtub water.
Yeah, Duggan's bathtub water.
And then he ends up in the world of the living and shit. I don't know. That aspect of it looked pretty cool to me. You didn't see that in the original Crow. It's just he just fucking pops out of a grave, So I like that stuff. I still can't get over how he looks though. That's
It's
That's
the fact that it's an old, decrepit, like run-down railway station that makes
Yes.
it look great, like the transfer point between worlds.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
think
really
that's
cool.
a great concept. I think
Me
it's
too.
really cool. I mean, yeah, I'm still not taking away he looks.
No,
either.
he looks.
I
looks
will
horrible.
say, while in motion, it's not as bad looking as the still pictures that we were shitting on a couple weeks ago. It's not as bad. It's still rough, but it's not as bad.
But don't you think that he would have looked better had they given him like the old Eric Draven treatment? Like if he had like long rock star like hair,
Oh fuck yeah!
Well,
he would
yeah.
have looked. I mean, it would at least see. The fucking mullet is awful. While you're right though. When he's quickly moving through and killing people or getting shot up, I can't tell how bad it is, and maybe the blood and the makeup help. But I don't know. I still can't get over that fucking haircut. But the trailer looked good enough that I will tentatively see this movie in theaters. So
I will be forced to see this movie because of my wife.
Is it because she likes The Crow or
Yes.
because she likes Bill?
She loves The Crow. She loved the original. She definitely wants to see this already. She's all about it. She doesn't like the haircut whatsoever. She loved to see more of the story. She's never read the comic. So
Did she like the co-ed detainment camp where everybody wears pink jumpsuits?
Not really. You know, she's confused by that. She's confused by that altogether.
I mean,
It
how
seemed-
can you not be?
it seemed like the place like in that Halloween 2018 one where like Mike Myers was held, like all the crazy people in the fucking middle, or Squid Game. It kind of looked
Yes.
like Squid Game a little bit. But Duggan, did you see the trailer? What did you think about it?
Yeah, I just watched it. I think it's awesome. I fucking love it. I love everything about it.
Logan's on a different planet right now.
No, man, I forgot to watch it because I was doing other things like cooking dinner and shit. But anyway, I know I like it. I'd be that guy for Halloween. I think that girl is extremely sexy. I love that.
Yes.
The love that they have, like the bond they have, that it goes through death. I think that's pretty cool. I do like. I don't know. I like everything about it. I don't have any qualms with it. I just, like I said, I literally just watched the preview. I think everything looks cool about it. I have his haircut, so I like it. I don't give a fuck.
You got that haircut?
You have that haircut?
Well, kind of. Hang on.
No, you don't.
No.
No, because you're missing the shitty crooked bangs in the front.
Yeah, I don't have fucking. I don't have the ick.
You have like Jax from Sons of Anarchy hair when he gets the haircut.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
I used to have that haircut.
This image here.
Go back.
This image here. What the fuck is this?
That's blood.
That would be
That's blood.
oil.
He's being born in the blood again.
He's blood.
That's 10W30.
It's a bucket of blood.
It looks fucking gross, dude.
Yeah,
Like, I wouldn't even want to film this scene if I were this actor.
Bill will do it. Bill will do anything.
Oh fuck.
What the fuck?
Oh, I'd be that for Halloween.
Terrible. Fucking terrible.
Terrible. What's terrible about that?
Did you just say,
He looks like he's about to go like goo 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 to a fucking baby.
He's going, do you want to die?
Dude, his crow, it looks like a
He's
heart.
too.
his crow makeup looks too much, especially in this, looks too much like his It makeup.
Yeah, it looks
Do you want him to look like fucking Sting? I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
No. Dude,
Sting is based on the crow.
I know, but he takes place now, and he's poor, so he only has
He can't afford the
dark
makeup.
No, here's the thing.
Dark
It's
wool.
not even makeup. Have you ever taken a cork from a wine bottle and you burnt it, and you can paint your face with that shit? That's how he's painting his face. Yeah.
Sure.
But do you see, it looks like a heart shape. Do you see that? Like the makeup makes a heart shape with his eye.
It's a heart-shaped box.
Jesus.
It looks okay. It looks okay. I'm not rushing. It has made me more curious to see it than the original photos did. Seems like it's gonna have like very brutal action, which again the original Crow did too, but not to this degree.
I mean, the shotgun
shotgun
blast
scene.
to the
Yes.
oh my god, to the chest, and then how he takes care of it after.
That dude's head is like from here,
Yeah.
like over is gone.
Yes.
Like,
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty good. So I'll see it. And you know what? It doesn't look as good as the other Bill Skarsgård movie that's coming out this summer, though. Boy Kills World or whatever the hell it's called.
That looks horrible.
You think that looks bad, Duggan? I think that looks so fun.
Duggan,
I'm not into those.
why do you have to be like so on the opposite side of everything based on the comment that you had earlier? And if you want to segue, Kevin, segue now.
That has to be how it is. Okay.
You just left me. I don't even know what you're talking about.
In the chat, Duggan finally watched Oppenheimer, okay?
Oh,
Duggan finally watches Oppenheimer and says it was okay. It was basically just a pretty good. Oh fuck! I need to go. My son threw up.
Yeah, I know. That's so below.
All right, buddy.
Okay, I might be back.
All right, we'll hold down the fort without you.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, Duggan, did you like The Running Man? I mean, because The Running Man and Boy Kills World is basically the same fucking movie.
It's a running. It's the Running Man with Bill Skarsgård. But all right, so you watched Oppenheimer. It won 7 Academy Awards, and you didn't like it, Duggan?
I mean, it's not like I didn't like it. It's just I don't see. See, this is what trips me up about the fucking awards. I've seen thousands of movies. I don't know who decides on these awards, but I consider myself a pretty good movie critic. Any kind of movie I recommend usually is pretty good for the person I'm recommending it to. I usually don't recommend shit that I like because I have a weird, dry, like Sunday morning. You know, yeah, I watch the weirdest movies on Sunday mornings just because that's like the thing I do. But like, I don't see how it won all of his awards. Like, yes, maybe Cillian Murphy because it's Cillian Murphy and he's good. But I think that kind of got won on reputation. And Robert Downey Jr. Are you fucking kidding me? How did he win an award? He wasn't even like anything. He was just like a dude, and like that was it. If it was based on the story, I guess. But I mean, I don't know. Like the story was good. I'm glad I didn't go pay money for it. But
I thought it was very good. At least the first half was. I actually thought the second half, but it wasn't that great. It's like as soon as they dropped the bomb, I was kind of like, oh. Like I don't know the test bomb. I was like, I
was expecting more from that.
Yeah, but
like they felt that from like far fucking away, and like I wanted to see like people like I guess they were saying there was something about. Oh, I was watching a documentary on Netflix about the Cold War. It just came out, and they were talking about the testing site, like where Los Alamos was. There's like a fucking campground, like. Well, not even lying, like 10 miles away, like next to it. And like all these girls were like sleeping and like the fucking bomb goes off. They'll get like knocked off their bunk beds and shit. Like, what the fuck is going on? They didn't tell anybody that they were doing this. It just like happened.
Well, that's the movie. That's the movie you need.
I didn't realize how bad those fucking things were just in general, because they would go in and set those things off in Nevada and have troops walk towards the blast afterwards, not realizing they're getting dosed with radiation. Just and
then the acid rain and shit, all that. Yeah. Oh,
the amount of people that died from the testing sites, from the actual soldiers that died from walking in, fucking ridiculous.
Dude, that's like the premise of The Hills Have Eyes, isn't it?
Oh, exactly, bro. The Japanese girls were saying that when the bomb went off, they see the flash and everything happens, whatever, and it starts snowing. So they're catching this snow, and they're like, wow, the snow's like warm. It's so crazy. So like people are like touching it like on their skin, Jesus and they're like playing in the snow, and they're not realizing. Yeah, they're doing all that. They're not realizing what it is, and they're just all dying. It's crazy.
It's fucked up.
The impact of the bombs, not one but two, and like it's nuts.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking crazy. But so here is my counterpoint to the Robert Downey Jr. thing. I watched it with Sarah, and we're watching it, and she's like, she literally says to me, because when we're watching it, I was like, Robert Downey Jr. is doing really good in this movie, and she goes, "Is that Robert Downey Jr.?" She had no idea. Wow. So I don't take that for what you will. She did not know it was him, so he was doing a good enough job and looked enough not like himself that she had no idea it was Robert Downey Jr. So.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. I've always thought these award shows are smoke and mirrors. I thought they just paid. They literally just paid the
Academy
committee or whatever it is, right? The Academy, right? And they just paid for it, and they said, "They go, hey, you paid the most money, you get the award," right? That's why I've always thought it, and that's the way I always have. So.
Yep.
They do that. They do that. But they
that's atrocious.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, like, you have to pay to. I don't remember what the amount of money is, but I know that you have to pay to run it as a to submit it as for the Academy or whatever.
That's atrocious.
I don't know how much it is, but they do that.
That's
pretty
crazy.
Yeah. Hang on.
Be part of my club. You have to go ahead and pay me.
But yeah, so just going down the list here, like Cillian Murphy won for Best Actor. Chris Nolan won for Best. Obviously, it won Best Picture. Emma Stone in our other private chat there, Duncan. That's the movie that Scott just watched, Poor Things or whatever.
Poor Things.
Such
Best Actress. Yeah, she looks like a fish who became a human.
She was hot.
Chris Nolan won Best Director, which again, he really didn't have much competition there. Robert Downey Jr. Best Supporting Actor. Oppenheimer got Best Score, and then here's the next ones that I care about. We got American Fiction, which I just started watching last week. I didn't get to finish it for Best Adapted Screenplay. That is a great comedy. Duggan, have you seen that?
What's that on?
I bought it on Amazon, but
okay.
But it's wicked funny. It's about this writer. It's Jeffrey Wright, who is Commissioner Gordon in the Batman, right? He's this writer, and he's got all these highly touted books, but nobody buys them. They're never bestsellers or anything. Yep. And then he goes to this news it's set in Massachusetts, which is funny, but he goes to this conference and he's where all these people are interviewing him or whatever. And there's only 8 people in the audience. And then he's like, where is everybody? Nobody's here. And oh, they're over in the next hall, with this other reader. So he goes into this other hall, and this lady has this book about it says, I think it's called We Is de Ghetto, or something like that. And it's just trash novel, and everybody loves it. It's you spoke to me, and he's listening to her read this fucking book, and he's like, this book sucks. This book sucks. How is this thing? And then he has all this tragedy shit happen in his life. So he decides to write a shit book like that, and it becomes this big, huge book, and it's really funny, dark comedy, but real funny.
Isn't that the preview? He's talking to the guy who is in Grey's Anatomy, and he's drinking the shot. He's like, "Oh, I have a plane. I have a flight at 8 a.m." And he looked at him weird, and he's like, "What? I'm not driving," or he's like, "I'm not flying." Right? That's the commercial.
I don't know if that's I don't think I got to that part of it yet, but it's really funny. It's really funny, and like I said, there's a lot of private tragedy and shit that happens in his life that that lends to the emotional aspect in it. But the comedy's there. It's really funny, and it's he goes to a Barnes and Noble. He goes to a Barnes and Noble, and he's looking for his books, and he finds them under African studies, and he's like, "What the fuck?" God. He's like, "These aren't African studies. These are fiction." So he takes them. And the kid sees him taking these books. He's like, "Sir, where are you going with all those books?" He goes, "I'm putting them somewhere else." He's like, "They don't belong in this section."
Oh my god,
it's really good. It's really good. It's very funny.
The few clips that I've seen of it so far from Kevin, I was dying laughing.
Oh, it's really good. It's really good. But yeah, so that one where'd that go? That one Best Adapted Screenplay. And then Godzilla -1. That one. Best Visual Effects, and that was made for $15 million, which is fucking incredible that a movie made for $15 million won Best Visual Effects. That's crazy.
I mean, 78 years, over 40 films. I mean, they had to go and hit gold.
one Godzilla movie had to be good.
We're sure as fuck was it going to be the Matthew Broderick one.
Oh god, I hate the Matthew Broderick one. But yeah, so yeah, but is there anything on this list that Barbie won for Best Song? Barbie is where is that? I have it. I had it somewhere. I must not have uploaded it. Is it on this list?
Is that the Dua Lipa one or the Billie Eilish one?
The Billie Eilish one.
Oh, I seen it. Go back. It's on there.
Oh, I missed it. I must have not been able to see
it.
What
was it made?
Oh yeah, right there.
Right there.
What was I made for? Best original song. So, Should have been "I'm Just Ken." That was the better song, in my opinion.
Oh, I fucking love that. I sing that all the time.
Did you like the Barbie movie, Duggan?
Yeah, I love the movie. I cried at the end.
You cried?
Yeah. Fuck me up.
What part made you cry?
Like the ending when she was talking to like the lady from Cheers.
Oh, yeah, that part was emotional, but like I didn't know
I forget what it was. Something that triggered me. I was just like, because I looked over my wife and I'm like, damn, I never realized how hard you guys really have it. Like I know like women have it hard, but it's like so everything you guys go through, like it really made me be like, damn, like I have so many abused women growing up. I feel horrible for that. Like really regret all the things I've done to people. Like it made me feel horrible. I think that's why I cried. I was like, oh my God, I'm such a piece of shit.
You know what, Duggan? I think that's good though. I feel like if what's her face who wrote this movie, Greta Gerwig, I feel like if she heard you say that, she'd be like, yeah, and that's why I made it. And now I feel I'm glad you've come around.
Yeah, thank you. I'm now a feminist. She's changed me.
Oh man, it is really funny though. It was genuinely a good comedy. I was laughing almost the whole movie. Like,
oh, I'm glad I saw it just for Ryan Gosling. I mean, I have a sexual infatuation with the Ryans. They're like my favorite guys ever. Love them.
Who are the Ryans? Ryan Gosling?
And Ryan Gosling, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dude, no way. Sean Connery beats both.
Sean Connery?
Sean Connery,
dead.
old school Sean Connery beats those guys. Dicks.
Well, I never grew up with old school Sean Connery. I grew up with Ryan Reynolds and
dude, old school Sean Connery could charm your pants off if you're.
We grew up with old Sean Connery. So when you say that, I'm
punch her in the mouth.
Yeah, I'm just picturing you wanting to sleep with Sean Connery because in The Rock, John.
I mean,
John, welcome to The Rock.
Not unattractive still with his Q-tip type phase either. I mean, I'm just saying he had some goddamn good qualities in that.
John, you thought The Rock was a prison? I'm talking about my dick.
Oh man! All right. Here we'll jump to this one next. This is there was a controversy with the X-Men '97 show. So that show is the animated show. It's dropping, I think, this weekend. And the showrunner, who has written and directed the first season, wrote the second season, and was getting ready to write the third season, they just dropped him. Marvel just dropped him, and it's like a big mystery. They don't know why. The dude has a gay OnlyFans account, and people are like, did they drop him because he's got a gay OnlyFans account? Because that's like his own shit. That's kind of fucked up if they dropped him for that. But there's no report as to why. They fired him. They deleted his company Twitter, his company email, all that stuff. They wouldn't let him go to like the premiere of the show this weekend, and people are like, what the fuck did this dude do?
Well,
so
here's my question.
What was that?
Are there any police reports or anything? Like, did he get
nothing? There's nothing.
Here would be my question: is in his contract, is there a morality clause that says you cannot do shit like oral fans? I mean, OnlyFans.
Oral fans, yeah.
You can't do things like oral sex, and they caught him doing
on himself.
But like that, I mean, that could be part of the morality clause that they have, because you're not allowed to do certain shit with them.
What happened was only on OnlyFans, he dressed up like Cyclops, and that was getting blown by a dude who looks like Wolverine, and like they were just like, no, that's wrong for the brand. No,
and Jean Grey's just in the corner masturbating.
Maybe they're
a beast looking dildo.
Maybe they're upset about the fact that he removed all of Rogue's good features.
Somehow I don't think I feel like Disney if anyone pushed for the Rogue to be less sexualized, I'm pretty sure it was Disney that did that. So
I mean, they're like the opposite of that. They're like fucking the dirty
this
birds.
This dude has an OnlyFans account, John, for himself. There's no way he was like, nah, we got to make this more tame. Like,
do we have access
like
to this OnlyFans?
I mean, you don't know, man. It's possible.
But yeah, they don't know why this guy got fired. I mean, post Jonathan Majors, right? Is it that something like that happened? Some kind of an abuse story or some office abuse that's like happened that they were just like, no, anything like this, we're squashing it right now. Like after Jonathan Majors, we're not fucking hanging around with anything. Like
a zero
well, I feel
tolerance
like Disney's running 50% on that, right? Because they dropped Johnny Depp. I'm not saying he was innocent of everything, but they dropped Johnny Depp based on the Amber Heard thing, right? Before anything had even come out about him, right?
Mhm.
Jonathan Majors they dropped, rightly so, right? After like just in general, right? But now they're sitting there and they're like, whatever happened with this gentleman or this person, right? I mean, if it is because of the OnlyFans thing, I sit there and go, I mean, come on.
It couldn't have been. When did he start it though?
He had the OnlyFans, I think, for a while. I don't know.
I don't think it could be that. Something sketchy happened.
Yeah.
He's probably giving Hummers in the bathroom and fucking someone walked in.
Down at Disney, somebody walked in. Walt Disney's great grandson walked in and was like, "What the fuck?"
No, it was Walt Disney's great grandson.
But yeah, no, I to me, it has to be some kind of an abuse thing with somebody that is going to come out, or even worse, it had to be something like some pedo shit that like was immediately like, no, get this guy off.
What if he got one of the fucking suits on his OnlyFans and the suit's sweating? They're like, we got to get this guy fucking off the show. I can't fucking. I can't let it be known that I'm on this fucking.
Ooh, that's interesting. Some kind of like executive, like brass tacks, sort of important guy at Disney was like,
or like he's
doesn't want to be found out. Oh,
that's even better. He subscribes to it, and he's like, "We got to get this guy out of here. I've been jerking off to this dude for weeks, and I can't fucking. He can't be around anymore.
I can't let my wife know about my double life."
Yes, that's it. That's exactly it.
Entirely possible. You know, it's entirely possible.
Oh man, it's got to be bad, whatever it is. I mean, this dude, from all accounts, he like people say that like I never followed up on this dude's social media or anything, but apparently he like loves fucking X-Men and like he's like always at all these Comic-Cons and shit, like pushing for it and like by all accounts, it was in the best hands possible, this series. And then all of a sudden Disney was like, this guy, he was never here.
And you know it's going to be bad for Disney to come in and fucking just excommunicado you because they've done some sketchy shit,
dude. Especially because I mean this is terrible, but like especially because I mean think about like the boxes you're checking when you're Disney. Like this guy is he's gay, he's black or at least colored, and he's like so it's like a gay minority. Like getting a production out there, like it's a really like a great story for them image wise. So whatever this dude did, it's fucking bad that they're like,
and those are two non-fireable offenses. So
right,
it's got to be something other than those two things.
Yes, it's that I mean, they knew those things were going in. It can't be the OnlyFans. It can't be like that's.
It's got to be the OnlyFans.
It's got to be. It's got to be the subscriber.
It's got to be something that's on there that is so morally fucking gray. They were like, no.
Someone subscribed who shouldn't have subscribed, and the fucking cat.
He like sacrificed the kid to like a fucking demon, and like, and started like covered himself in his blood, pleasuring himself. Like that's the only thing that he had to have been doing.
Jesus,
sounds hot.
That's extreme. I apologize. All right, let's move on.
Yeah,
we'll move on to lighter fare. How about this? I don't know if you guys watched the Joe Rogan Experience last week, but our favorite director, Zack Snyder, was on there talking about a lot of stuff. And he did two things that were getting a lot of blowback. One was about Batman, which we'll talk about in a minute. And the other thing, which is kind of relevant to the Barbie talk earlier, he said that in the age of streaming, his movie Rebel Moon, which was seen by like 96 million households or something, would have been a more successful movie than Barbie comparatively. At the like more people would have seen it than Barbie at the movie theaters. Barbie was like the most successful movie of the last year. Like it made $1.5 billion or some shit. And it was kind of a ding at Barbie, which people are saying was on like intentional because of the ding in Barbie about like, why do I suddenly care about the Snyder Cut or whatever they do there?
Yeah.
So First of all, I just want to get into the math there. Like, it's a little stupid. He has to understand that, like, a movie going to a streaming service where literally you could just click it and watch it at home, that does not mean that if he had put that movie in theaters, that same number of people would have gone and seen it. You know, right. There's no fucking way they would have. Like, the movie was trash. So
yeah, I want to be clear. That movie is fucking terrible. I cannot wait for part 2.
Yeah, me too. Because I like to watch things burn. But
yeah.
But isn't that? I mean, you guys. There's no way that movie would have made more money than Barbie.
Oh no fucking way. There's just no way.
It would have been like the Greenland.
The first time, I'd be like, Jesus Christ.
Mm.
You know, I would have pulled the fire alarm midway through.
We have coworkers that sat there and said they couldn't sit through Dune, right? They would never have sat through that fucking trash heap, right? And Dune's a by far better movie.
Oh, it's not even. It shouldn't even be talked about in the same sentence. To be honest, it's like that different. But yeah, so this dude was definitely just trying to take a little dig at Barbie because of he's butthurt over the fucking comment.
But that wasn't even a shot at Snyder. That was funny because it's dudes who. It was just a shot at dudes because every dude was like, yo, did you see the Snyder cut? Did you see the Snyder cut? So it's like he was all fucking butthurt about it for no reason.
He should be pumped that he was mentioned in there. He should have been pumped that it was mentioned in the movie.
Right. Because nothing, he was trending. Like the whole thing was the Snyder cut. Because everybody felt bad about his daughter passing away and everything. And like we were all pumped for it because the first one was fucking ass trash. It's like that one would have been what Rebel Moon was in theaters. That's what would have happened.
Yeah. No, I look, I give Snyder a lot of shit. I do enjoy that version of Justice League better than the theatrical. It's way better. Oh, but
absolutely. Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's like the best fucking movie ever. It was okay. I mean, I think that dude's like basically plateaus his skill at okay.
Yeah.
Like that movie was okay, and that's how that movie was. But it's just funny that he's lucky that the world of streaming came along because I don't know that his movies would make enough money to like for studios to back him if he wasn't putting shit right to fucking Netflix.
I mean, as we've established, I know that you and I have talked about this, Kevin, but as we have established, Zack Snyder does extremely well when he has a script that is already written for him, not writing his own.
Right.
So
he doesn't Rebel Moon, he did help write it. Like that's for sure. Like his baby. That's he had writers come in, but like
it's terrible.
I don't know. The guy just he pisses me off more than anything. So when he was on Joe Rogan, I was like, God damn it, these are two people that I don't like. And now I gotta hear about this. But
who do you like more?
I suppose I could tune out Joe Rogan more. So as we're like, I'm in the fight when it comes to like the Snyder shit. So it's like, I don't know. You know my deal with Rogan. I don't hate Rogan as a person. I hate him as a comedian, and it annoys me that he offends me how bad he is as a comedian. That's what it is. So
you just don't get his comedy, Kevin. Okay,
it's terrible. He came up in the same class of comedians of like Bill Burr and fucking like what's his face? Patton Oswalt and all those dudes. Like all these people came up at the same time and they're all way funnier than him. Like why?
Rogan is way funnier than Patton Oswalt, and don't you dare say that otherwise.
He's not.
That is absolute false.
I'm sorry, I think he is, but that's okay.
That's crazy sauce.
He's not funnier than Patton Oswalt.
Rogan's spiel about taking a fucking an edible and then
oh my god, that is the only joke anyone ever brings up about Rogan.
That's fucking hilarious.
I think
the fucking cat joke he has was hilarious. The whole stand-up special is funny.
I think his joke about the guy who hops the fence and like literally trucked the Secret Service lady at the White House, right? And as he was running through, was hilarious. That was fantastic.
Sounds terrible. I don't even know that joke. It sounds terrible.
Do you know the actual event?
No, but he just doesn't work. Like literally, Bill Burr is like one of his best buddies. He is so much more funny than fucking than
Bill Burr is the fucking king of Beantown. I mean,
oh god, and he promotes terrible comics too. Like his buddies are all terrible.
Who's terrible out of his friends?
Bullshit, Kevin.
All of them.
Segura is great.
Tom Segura. Tom Segura is the best of them, but he's no Bill Burr either. And
Style comedian,
who also of his friends though? All of them are hilarious.
no, they aren't. No, they aren't.
What?
The only two that out of them that I've seen that have even made me laugh. Tom Segura genuinely makes me laugh. He is funny. Not all the time. He's kind of weird sometimes too. But and then what's his nuts who just did SNL? He was pretty funny too.
Shane Gillis.
He's okay. He's not that great. He's not that great either. He's okay, but like
Theo Von?
What about a guy named Dave
Theo Von
Chappelle?
sucks. He's terrible.
What about a guy named Dave Chappelle? Do you like Dave Chappelle?
Dave Chappelle is not a Joe Rogan comic. I'm talking about people who became famous as being friends with Joe.
That's his friend.
People who became famous due to their planetary circulation around Joe Rogan. Those are the people I'm talking about.
I don't know.
And and he's terrible, and they're all terrible. They're the worst fucking comics ever. So,
anyways, getting back on track.
Sorry, Joe Rogan spiel over. So the other thing that he said on this fucking stupid podcast was that he brought up Batman, right? And it just drives me fucking nuts the way that this idiot talks about Batman. He's like, everybody tells me Batman's got this one rule: he can't kill. Well, when you tell me he can't kill, it's like the first thing I want to make him do. And I'm just like, all you want to do is the opposite of what like decades of comic lore told you about a character. Like, making him kill is not what's cool about Batman. Putting him in a situation where he should kill somebody and doesn't because it's his fucking moral code is what makes Batman Batman.
Wait, he's never killed anybody?
Some of the movies he's killed people here and there, but like the way that Zack Snyder depicted Batman, he kills everybody. Like,
yeah, like he's bloodthirsty.
Yes.
Bloodthirsty is putting it lightly. He takes a fucking 500-pound crate and chucks it across the room at somebody. Smashes
their skull. Stabs a guy. Fucking puts a fucking grenade in someone's pants. Kicks him in the corner. Like, he's firing like a Gatling gun at people outside that warehouse and destroying them. He's smashing through people's cars, like with his Batmobile, like making them explode and break into a million pieces. He kills everybody in that fucking movie. It's insane. Like, Michael Keaton kicked a dude down the staircase in the bell tower. Michael Keaton strapped a fucking weight to the Joker so he falls to his death. Those are two deaths, okay?
Did he throw Danny DeVito out a fucking window?
Yes.
He threw Danny DeVito through a window into a pool.
Yeah.
He still died.
But I don't know if he knew there were chemicals down there, though. You know, you could maybe say he was just trying to throw him through a window. And Michael Keaton killed some people, all right, Michael, but it wasn't so egregious that I was like, this isn't even Batman. He doesn't have a code. There's no code,
right?
Especially coming off of The Dark Knight, which is literally all about the no-kill rule. Like, Batman's legit. Like, the Joker in The Dark Knight is literally like, I want you to kill somebody. I want you to kill me. I want to push you to the point where you kill people. Your code is like, and Batman doesn't do it. He doesn't do it. He finds a way around it until he kills Two-Face. So he does do it. The Joker wins. But
technically, he didn't kill him. He just decided not to save him. There's a difference.
No, that's Ra's al Ghul. He's like, I don't have to save you. And he flies off. He tackles Two-Face off of that building. He falls to death. There's no way around it.
Oh, I'm thinking about that one.
Yeah. So, I don't know. To me, Batman, I don't care if any character kills in a movie, any DC character, even the ones that have no kill rule, as long as the story leading to that moment and the fallout for the character after that kill is dealt right. And to me, BBS is just fucking Batman. Truthfully, I would be shocked if he didn't just have a gun in his hand. He was just like, pow, 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 like walking out like John Wick style and like executing everybody, you know? Like, he just didn't get the character. He didn't get the character. What do you guys do? You think am I crazy? Is the world reacting to Snyder like right now this way crazy, or is he just the worst when it comes to getting these characters?
Yeah, no, he's got it all wrong. He's an asshole.
I think Zack Snyder would do a decent Punisher movie because if he wants to kill people,
exactly. Take a character like that.
You know? I think it'd be great, or like a Deathlock or something like that. You know,
Yep.
just something to that effect, right? I don't think that Batman's a good fit for him, right?
Oh,
I know
who's that
that's
other
what he
one?
wants to do.
Fucking DC Killshot. Fucking let him do that one. Go
Deathstroke?
nuts. Yeah. Have fun with that one. Whatever the fuck it is.
You know,
Yeah,
he could do a decent Deathstroke. I'm sure he could. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad movie, right?
I think you might be onto something with the Punisher, though, John. I don't know if Marvel ever wants to reach out to Zack Snyder or not. They might not want his crazy fans coming on board, but like,
I mean, honestly, they have some real opportunity there still, right? With Josh Bernthal bringing him back as the Punisher, I thought he was fantastic. Right?
Absolutely the best one.
I thought
he was
Thomas
great.
Jane was pretty solid, but that's all right.
It was okay. Early Marvel, but it wasn't as good as Bernthal.
Fair enough. You know, for me to sit there and watch him sit there and say, he's like, "Oh, I just want to do the Dark Knight. I think I could do it well. It's the last thing I would do. It's like, and I wouldn't do like another superhero movie afterwards. I'm like, yeah, you don't need to though. I don't want you doing that.
Don't
do
touch it.
something else. Like,
Be
go
gone.
do an Incredible Hulk movie.
Yeah.
You couldn't fuck that one up any worse than it's already been done.
He can't do character stories. He doesn't know how to do it. That's there's no arc for these people in these movies. It's just look at my cool visuals, look at the action. That's it.
He needs to go on a tangent with the stories where it doesn't make any fucking sense. That's why it needs to be 12 hours.
Yo, can you make a movie in 2 hours, Zach? For Christ's sake. Everybody else on the fucking planet can figure it out.
He goes into space land and he starts fucking, oh, we're over here. Then we're over here.
Here's my 4-hour cut. Here's my 4-hour cut of the movie. It's really the better cut. Really? What kind of a director are you?
Yeah.
My favorite thing that he said during that interview was about 300. He's like, we filmed it in like 66 days, right? And there's no director's cut. I go, fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah.
That proves that you can do that.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
He adapted a comic book beat for beat. That's why. When he has the material in front of it, it's whenever he has to put his own spin on things that it's terrible. But that's like you said earlier. If he's got a good script and he's following it, he can get it done. But he literally can't do that anymore. He's too in his own head, and he's never gonna get better with these fucking loser fans of his always being like, he's the best. Well, he's not the best. He's fucking terrible. He needs to get better if he wants to keep making movies. Yep. At least according to me. When the theaters ask me, when the studios reach out to me and ask, Kevin, what do you think about Zack Snyder? Should we give him another shot? My answer is no.
Nope, not today.
Oh, man. All right, let's stick with the Batman for a little bit. We have a couple more Batman topics today. This is fresh. The Batman, the Robert Pattinson Batman sequel, Batman 2, or The Batman 2, which was supposed to come out next October 2025, has been pushed to October 2026. And people are pissed because they thought this movie next year there was like the two DC tangents they were going to have. They're going to have Superman and they were going to have this Matt Reeves Batman, which again, they are two separate universes. They would not connect at all, which is confusing for the general audiences, I'm sure. But they pushed this movie and it's because of the writer's strike, apparently. Matt Reeves, who was writing and directing it, he just started writing it when the writer's strike happened, and then he had to wait to get it going. He has gone on the different social media sites and said that he is generally a slow writer. So I guess they can't get this movie out in time, I don't think, and they don't want to rush it. So I think it's a good thing. I'd rather than push it and make a good movie. But I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bummed because I really like The Batman, and I wanted to see the second one pretty bad. So what do you guys think?
I mean, I'm not in love with the character they picked for the villain.
They haven't announced anything. They have not officially announced anything for.
Okay, because I had heard there was Hush.
Hush.
Yeah.
Hush.
Yeah. I had heard it.
What's going on with your voice, John? You losing it right now?
A little bit. I'm sorry. Sorry, but I heard it was Hush, right? And I'm not in love with the villain character, but I think it's great, right? I thought going a different route with it would have been better, right? But if they haven't actually announced anything, I don't care that's coming out later. That's fine, right? I'd rather just have a quality movie than a fast movie and a shit movie.
Yeah.
So
I agree. Duggan, how do you feel about this movie getting pushed a year? Are you bummed?
Yeah, I'm a little bummed that it's going to not come out this year. I really hope that it would come out next year.
No, I'm kind of pissed, honestly, because I really wanted to see this one, especially with how good the first one was. But it kind of makes sense in the long run. That way, people don't really get super confused. Because I'm still confused. I know it's two separate things, but my brain wouldn't really compute it because I'd see one thing and then immediately see another thing and be what the fuck. So at least it's broken up where you won't get diluted with that type of shit. So
Right. Yeah, because they I think what it came down to too is I read somewhere today that what it like the preferred soundstage that they would have used for some of this movie, due to the writer's strike, all these sound stages are booked out for like months now, right? Because all these projects got pushed, so they can't even get into where they could probably start if they got the script done. I guess the shooting schedule has to be pretty tight because otherwise you're just fucking pissing money away. So,
well, I imagine this movie picks up right where the last movie left off. Right? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 4 years after
release. So
date.
many ways to go from that movie too, because they showed a couple of different villains.
Yeah, I don't know who they. I know Matt Reeves had said that he liked the idea of Mr. Freeze, like a real take on Mr. Freeze, like not like freezing people with a gun, but like a serial killer who like keeps people in like an ice truck. Like that's pretty cool.
Awesome.
But
like an ice cream truck he drives around and just keeps people in it. That'd be sick.
Like a better Bane, like a more realistic Bane. I think a more realistic Bane would be fantastic.
I like the idea of they kind of used him in the Nolan trilogy, but I like the idea of like a really psychotic Scarecrow. Because you can do a realistic Batman where somebody who's hitting somebody with fucking neurotoxins and shit, making them all fucked up, like like you know.
No, he's hitting them with fentanyl, and they're all just like,
they're tweaking out. Yeah, man, that'd be a good one. But I guess I need to know why he was doing that. It's just walking up to strangers and hitting them in the face.
What would be actually really good too is the take on the old Batman and Robin with what's his face Clooney is you have a female serial killer, Poison Ivy, and she fucking kills people with a kissing lipstick.
A fucking eco-terrorist, dude. Those are like real.
Yeah,
you could see that. Dude, Gotham's like an industrial like wasteland. Exactly. So it's like exactly the kind of place you'd want to fucking like blow up.
Yes.
So there you go, Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves, let us know if you need help writing that script, maybe. But, yeah, so the Batman's coming out in 2026 now. I'm bummed that it got pushed, but like I said, I'm excited for this movie no matter what. So I'll be there for it. Okay, one more Batman topic, and then we'll get to the Ricky Stanicky review. Batman, number 3. So obviously, the Batman is a standalone property inside DC right now, but James Gunn's DCU is going to have its own Batman. The Brave and the Bold is going to be the name of that movie, or at least the title right now. Like Superman Legacy, it could change. It is going to be a movie about an older Batman who has his son, the serial killing hitman Damian Wayne, thrust upon him, and basically is forced to try and teach this kid to be a hero and not be a fucking psychopath. It's a really cool comic run. I like Damian Wayne a lot as a character, so I'm excited to see him. But the question is, who do you think should play Batman in this new DCU? He is going to be a little older, so you got to pick an actor who you think would have like a 13-year-old son or however old he's going to be. So I don't know. I'll kick it to you guys first. Duggan, who do you think should play Batman in this new DCU?
So I got a top 5, and I'll go from 5 down to 1.
Okay.
So 5 would be Jason Isaacs. I don't know if you guys are familiar with any.
Jason Isaacs from the Patriot.
Yep. Yeah, he was in the Patriot.
He's the bad guy.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. Number 4 would be Idris Elba, because I think it'd be really
A
cool.
black Batman, huh?
Black Batman. I think
I don't hate
that's
it.
something different.
I love Idris Elba, so honestly,
Yeah.
you could sell me on it.
Number 3, I would have Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid.
No fucking
Dude,
way.
I'm
I'm
telling
sorry.
He's too old,
Dennis-
dude. He's like 70.
Well, I'm going for like an old season guy because I thought Dennis Quaid would be so good. I would just picture Dennis Quaid because he doesn't kill anybody. He maneuvers them and shit. And I think if Dennis Quaid put on a little bit of muscle and he'd just be like a seasoned, worn down Batman. So I like that. Number 2, Matthew Dempsey. I think he would be one of the better Batman because he's
Who's that?
young Matthew Dempsey, McDreamy from Grey's Anatomy.
I don't know how I know that.
Patrick Dempsey.
Oh yeah,
Patrick Dempsey.
Yeah.
Patrick Dempsey.
Yep. And then number 1, I think would be the best one would be Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan is pretty good. He's pretty good. I like Jeffrey Dean Morgan a lot, actually.
Yeah.
He's maybe a little old for because I think it's like I said in my head, this Batman would be like in his 40s, right? I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan's like in his 50s, but again, he's not bad.
I didn't know how old we were going when we were talking in the other text about how old. So I was like, all right. I was thinking like now when Batman was really kicking ass, it was probably in like the 90s. So he's probably getting up there in age. That's why I was like 50, 40. I was thinking like the kid would be like in his 20s now. Like Damien would be in his 20s. That's where I was going with that.
I like Patrick Dempsey. I don't know. Like I never would have considered him for Batman. And
right, I was trying to go out of the box with a lot of it. And then
he'd be all right. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan's great. I think he's great too. But
yeah, and then I had a couple of outliers. I was trying to think, but I couldn't remember the names. I just kept thinking of fucking Jeff
Wilfred
Bridges.
Brimley.
Yeah, no, I just kept thinking of Jeff Bridges. I'm like, damn, that's not who I'm thinking of. But
Wilfred
like
Brimley, he'd be up there, be like with the Batman cowl. I have diabetes.
Yeah.
Donald. Jonald. What about you?
I tell you, it's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic.
My Batman choices are the best.
Is it Trump? I would lose my shit.
I've only got 2, right? And my first one is sticking with the supernatural. Again, I'm thinking Jensen Ackles.
I love Jensen Ackles.
Jensen Ackles, perfect.
Yeah, you got a thing for him, man.
He's my number 1 for Batman. I'm not gonna lie, he is.
He's got the Playboy feel as well as I could kick the shit out of you attitude.
It's
solid, you know. And the other person I was thinking, but he's a little old for it, is the guy who played Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah,
Andrew Lincoln. I think his name's Andrew Lincoln.
He's a little old, but I'm like I can work with it for sure.
He could toe the line. I mean, again, like late 40s, early 50s would work, I think, story-wise. He'd be a good one. He's a little skinny. I don't know how big he is either. Like, I don't know how tall he is. I don't know if that really...
I don't think he's very tall. You know?
It's hard. I don't even know how tall Jensen Ackles is, but like, it's hard to compare because all I can think of is Supernatural and his fucking Jared Padalecki, who's the brother. He's like 12 feet tall. So you can't even gauge how tall Jensen Ackles. He must be at least 6 feet tall. 6'1"? Okay.
Yep.
So that's crazy that he's 6'1" because Jared Padalecki must be like 6'7".
Right.
If he looks, he makes him look like a midget.
Here's a good one. What about Richard Madden?
Richard Madden. Who is that? Is that Stark? One of the Starks?
Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
He's pretty young.
Yeah.
He looks the part of like a young Bruce Wayne.
How old are we going? Which one is it? Young or old?
What about Sean Bean?
Like the guy you just showed me looks like a young Bruce Wayne, but the guy we have to cast for this particular Batman has to at least be in his 40s or 50s.
That's Jeffrey Dean Morgan all day long.
Yes, I said Jeffrey Dean Morgan was a good one.
Yes.
Be Sean Bean.
Sean Bean. He dies in everything.
Good way for Damien to take over the mantle.
Yeah, at 13, yeah. Yeah, I think I like all you guys' top choices. Jensen Ackles, like I said, is my number one. The other one that's getting floated around a lot is Alan Ritchson from Reacher.
Nice.
Right.
Hell yeah.
And he's
My
huge.
boy.
He's huge. I mean, that's
gigantic.
I can picture him being a great Batman just based on his physique, and I like him as an actor too. So I mean, he's not like the best actor in the world, but I could see him playing Batman well. You know, the only issue with him to me is this: I don't believe that anybody in Gotham would see that Bruce Wayne walking around and be like, "That's Batman." Like,
All right. How about this? We just talked about him earlier, but what about if they didn't redo Punisher, Johnny Bernthal?
Batman? I don't think he could play the Playboy part of it.
What?
Yeah, I'm just being honest, dude. The only time I've ever seen this dude act, he's either being like a fucking like a killer, or he's acting like a dude from like the Bronx.
Well, he wasn't Ford and Ferrari. He wasn't too bad in.
I didn't see Ford v
Dude,
Ferrari.
fucking Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, he's like a dude from Brooklyn in that. That's just like
He was a Guido Playboy. They can play that. He can play a rich guy.
But Bruce Wayne isn't a Guido Playboy. He's just like he's like a silver spoon fucking billionaire, dude. Like,
You guys just got a dick up your ass, but Jenkins, that's all.
Jenkins.
I know
his name.
No, that's great because it combines both names.
Yeah.
I do. He is my Jensen Ackles is my number one, and that's literally I loved him from the show Supernatural, and then when he got his turn to play fucking Soldier Boy in season 3 of The Boys.
Yeah.
He was fucking great. The dude's like on the rise as an actor. This would be a great role for him to nab. It's like get him into movies. So
what about Joe Manganiello?
He's not the best. See, the thing is, like, again, body wise, Batman he'd be a perfect Batman. He'd be great. Yeah. Like imposing as shit. Age wise,
sure.
Fits the bill.
Right. Acting wise.
Josh Hartnett.
I don't know that I believe him as Josh Hartnett.
Yeah.
That's not terrible.
That's not bad.
I actually kind of like that.
That's not bad at all.
Dude, he would be great. He'd be great as Bruce Wayne. And
looking at his picture right now, and I'm like, oh man, yeah.
Josh Hartnett has that Playboy feel.
Yeah.
Sure.
And he was a heartthrob back in the day.
Because that's truthfully the hardest thing to do is get somebody who is Bruce Wayne, and then the Batman stuff comes easy. I mean, Pattinson didn't get super jacked to play his Batman, and the fucking suit still makes him look imposing as fuck.
Hell
so,
yeah,
like, really, any of these guys could do that. So that's the hard thing is with these, like fucking gorillas that are, like, out there, like Alan Ritchson and Joe Manganiello. They're almost too big to be believable Bruce Waynes. So the other route is a little easier, but I don't know.
The dude from Yellowstone, Cole Hauser, he's 48. I didn't realize he was almost.
Was that Rip?
Yeah, it's Rip.
Yeah.
Wow, 48. I didn't realize that.
He's been, dude. He was in he was in. He's one of the main characters in Dazed and Confused.
That's right. Yeah.
So he's been around for a while.
Shit. I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah, he's got the fucking red fro. And he gives that he's the one who he's what does he do the thing? He wants to he like gets the paddle but he tells Floyd or not Floyd. What's his name? The main character. Is it Floyd? Pink? What's the main character's name for that?
Like that? Yeah.
He gives him all that shit. He goes, sign the fucking papers. He's like, we need you to be the QB next year or whatever. But look, that movie's great. I haven't seen that in forever. But all right, well, closing out our Batman talk here. That was those are all great ideas. I think we came up with some ones I haven't even. Dude, truthfully, Josh Hartnett. It might be something that might be something different. I like that one a lot. So, all right. So the question is for everybody at home: who do you guys think should play the new Batman in the DCU? Obviously, I think it's got to be somebody who's in their 40s, 50s ish. Maybe an older looking late 30s actor could do it, but we want to know. Let us know in the comments who you guys think should be the new Batman. All right, moving on from Batman to Peacemaker.
Yeah,
We're gonna
my
do
boy.
we're gonna do a review of the Amazon movie Ricky Stanicky.
Yeah.
This is a movie that I did not know was coming out till Duggan texted me and said, "Yo, have you seen the trailer for Ricky Stanicky?" And I said, "What the fuck is Ricky Stanicky? It sounds like a made-up name." And that is exactly what it is. And this is John Cena and what's his name? What's the kid who
Zac
plays the main
Efron.
guy? Zac Efron. Yeah,
Andrew Santino.
Andrew Santino. It's a comedy from. It was on Amazon Prime Video, and it's from the Farrelly brothers, which I did not know until I watched the movie and finished it. And I was like, "This movie's really funny. Who directed this?" And I waited, and it was like Peter Farrelly. I was like, "No shit. No wonder why I think this is funny." These guys, I'd say they're about 60% with their movies. Like 60% of them are funny, 40% are like terrible. So this was a good one though. I thought it was very funny. What are your first impressions on Ricky Stanicky? Duggan, I'm gonna go to you first.
Absolutely love it. Watched it twice. Fell asleep the third time. I can't say enough things about this movie. I mean, from John Cena's character, which is it absolutely steals the whole movie. This movie is geared around John Cena, which I loved, and everything about it is hilarious. From the songs that he creates to how he leans into the character of Ricky Stanicky. I love the banter between the three of the friends. It just seems like something that three shithead friends would do.
Yes.
It's a little extreme for like the what is it, the fucking
Believability.
baby shower and shit. Like, why wouldn't you want to be there for your baby shower if you want to be there shirtless for your son to be born? So like, I don't know. I wouldn't be burning that card all day long. I'd be saving the Ricky Stanicky for like, when your in-laws come in for the weekend or some shit like that. I would, but
especially that in-law. She was a real bitch.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, everything about the movie was hilarious. I don't want to do any spoilers in case somebody hasn't seen it.
No. It's been out for a week. I want to talk about it. I want you to tell me your favorite parts, dude. We're spoiled. Okay. This is the spoiler review for Ricky Stanicky.
So fucking, and his songs that he creates, my favorite one was Peter Frampton at the end.
Me too.
I could not stop singing that all day long. I was telling everybody about it at work, and so all the people at work, they all saw it. We were all laughing, and like his thing with fucking calamari, that just like low key had me dying the whole time. And it's like, and I just like point out funny things to my wife while we're watching movies, and I'm like, babe, the second time we watched, I'm like, babe, watch when he grabs the calamari from the bar. It's just like so funny when he's just like, hey, why don't you get out of here before I call the police or whatever? And he's like, all right, and he just grabs the calamari so fast and like just leaves, and he's eating it like he's never eaten before. And it's just like low-key shit like that just has me rolling for stuff.
This is mine. This is my calamari.
It's so hilarious. Like, and like,
he's like literally like ready to throw down over it too. He like leans in. He's like, get out of here. Don't you take this calamari from me.
And the only thing that kind of ruined it for me was fucking Jeff Roth. I fucking can't stand him. I was so upset when he was the
rabbi.
A rabbi, man. And like, where did he?
I thought he was funny. He's so stupid, but I thought he was funny.
Like, where did he even come from to get the fucking K
peanut
the K hole from him? Like I don't even understand that. Like, he came out of left field. It wasn't even like he was walking up the stairs and heard them. That means he was creepily like standing upstairs, listening to them catch nuts in their mouth. Like, what a fucking weirdo. But other than that, it was perfect.
I thought this movie was really funny. There's so many bits that I was like, the subtle jokes really had me dying. Like, the big jokes were great, but the subtle jokes had me dying. Like, Andrew Santino, who I've never seen in anything. I didn't even know he was a stand-up comic till I watched this movie, and John told me that he was a stand-up comic. He was so mean to everybody. Like, especially like Ricky Stanicky, he was just like when he's getting ready to leave the party and like they're all saying their goodbyes and it's awkward and he just leans in, he's like, he's ready to go. Like, get out of here. And the little jokes, like when he walks, don't be such a wang, Dean. Like,
and when he's talking to Ron and he's like, hey, listen, jerk off Ron. And he's like, hey, that's not his name. It's Hard On Rod. So funny.
Oh, sorry. I didn't consider Weird Al Wankoviches.
Yeah. And then, like,
I thought
when his son bites on his nipple, she's like, get him off. He's like, no, he has to learn to detach. He's like, yeah, that's a good boy, Whitaker. He's like,
Jesus
he's biting
Christ.
his nipple.
That was the weirdest part of that movie.
terrible name, by the way.
Baby
Little
Whitaker.
baby Whitaker.
With
I
a big
really
dick.
enjoyed the movie. But I think it's one of those movies where I almost wish it was, and I never say this about comedies, but I wish it were 30 minutes longer, because I feel like the bulk of this movie should have lived with him infiltrating the life as Ricky Stanicky. And like just like popping up. I think it needed 30 more minutes of that, because I feel like it went from getting him there being Ricky Stanicky to like all of a sudden he was Ricky Stanicky, and the movie ended really quickly after that. And I don't know. I think it needed 30 more minutes. I was a little bummed it didn't have it, but I was laughing the whole time. So it did what it had to do. John,
before John goes, they could have even left it up for like maybe even a sequel. Like when because at the end of the credits they showed Zac Efron getting married. So like, what if they were like getting ready to go to the wedding like months later, and then he just gets a call from Ricky Stanicky, and he's actually in fucking trouble. So they actually have to go save him now, like for real. I think that would have been funny or something like that.
To be honest,
yeah.
dude, it probably, if this movie, I didn't check the numbers on Amazon. I don't even know if they even released them to see how often it was streamed.
Yep.
If it got a lot of eyes on it, which I think it might have, they probably will make a sequel to it.
We're pushing the shit out of this. John Cena, we love you. If you ever hear this,
Absolutely.
please come on the show. We will talk to you about anything you want if we can see you in light.
So we can establish that Zac Efron is a solid actor, right, for what he does. Like he has
He's a good
lot
actor.
of roles, right? And yet he doesn't hold a fucking candle to John Cena in this.
No.
Right?
Oh,
John
no.
Cena blows him so far out of the fucking water. It's astonishing.
Yeah.
Right? Like I sat there, I was like, Zac Efron's in this movie for what reason at this point?
He's well, again,
He was the comic like relief who can.
He is the
act.
supporting actor at that point.
He
And I
is.
just go,
Truthfully, it's John Cena's
This is
movie.
John Cena's movie, absolutely.
It is.
you know,
Fuck.
I love all the masturbation songs. I think they're fantastic, right? I love the fact that as he's running out of the club through the window, he goes ahead. Excuse me. He goes ahead and he's in the Britney Spears get up, right?
Drop the bottle.
He's just licking the cardboard. I'm like, Jesus Christ, right? Like I think that's great. I think.
Hey, let me ask you something.
Sure.
You're an alcoholic, right? Yeah.
Yep.
How do you stay so jacked? Roids. I'm addicted to them too.
I think
Yeah,
that's
love Roy.
fantastic, right? That he just says that outright. And at the end of it, you have Zac Efron that thinks this guy's gonna pull a gun on him, right? And he goes ahead and he runs up and he's like, thump. He's like, how do you think that was gonna go, you little cunt?
Yeah.
Right? And he said,
Did you go
cease
your
and
way,
desist.
did you, wanker?
Yeah. Didn't go the way you thought it would, did it, you wanker? That was so good.
It's so
And that
good.
Dan pointed out, I wish he was here to talk about it, but he pointed out that he's,
You okay?
for some his kid was sick. That's why he had to leave.
Oh, you had to take a shit.
No, that would be amazing. No, but he was saying that he thought he noticed the country club at the end that they were doing their Hero of the Week segment at. He's like, I feel like I've seen that. I think I've seen it before. So he Googled, he found out it was Australia. He's like, oh no, I never fucking saw that before in my life.
Well, isn't that weird that the fucking news guy was Australian? Like the guy who did the fucking Hero of the Week?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so maybe it was like.
It was all filmed in Australia. That's why all the extras were Australian.
Did it take place in Australia? No, it took place
Providence.
in fucking yeah, right. So like, how did that even transpire? They're like, nobody will notice the news anchor who's supposed to be have an accent be from fucking Australia. No one will ever catch that.
Right.
Solid air dicker.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so funny.
William H.
Like
Macy.
Balls.
William H. Macy was great. I like that he's like, what does he do? He's like, fuck. In the meeting, he's like, fuck you. And he's like, what did you say, what did you say, Ricky? He's like, oh, I just told this guy to fuck himself or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, he's like, fuck you. He does it too. He's like,
Fuck
he's
you,
like, no, it's all in good fun. But seriously, fuck you.
So
Yeah.
good.
That's so good.
William H. Macy was great. When John Cena first gets on the scene at that party, and Dan Baggs is back. He's back. Hold on.
He heard me talking.
He's back for Ricky Stanicky. Hey.
Yeah.
I'm back and I'm exhausted.
Oh man, how's your son?
You look it.
I
You
don't
look
know.
like you just read.
He fucking puked.
Oh. Poor little man.
My
You had to
God.
change shirts, huh? That messy of a job?
No, I took my sweatshirt off that I was wearing. I didn't have to change
wish you took it
anything,
all
and
off.
I wore gloves for it.
We're
And I
gag-
definitely overloaded my fucking washing machine.
Oh no, it's the worst.
Is
The
yours
kids get
thump?
sick.
Mine's thumps.
But you're in at the best part, Dan. We just started talking about Ricky Stanicky.
Well, that's what I did. I brought his vomit-soaked pillows out to the garage in an empty diaper box, and I said, I don't know what the fuck to do with these things.
Just throw 'em out.
The wife is sleeping on the floor with him, and I pulled out the phone and I checked the YouTube, and it said we were still live, and I said, fuck it, I'm going back in.
Nice.
Yeah.
I gotta wait for his clothes for the sheets to finish in the washing machine before I can even go to bed. So fuck it, let's go all night.
John's like, no, I get up super early.
So what's your take on Stanicky there, Danny boy?
Oh, unbelievable. Somehow John Cena has gone from WWE superstar to a comedic genius with impeccable timing somehow. And I mean, just little nuances that just really add to everything. Like the scene where they put him in the taxi and they're like, okay, we're done. And the taxi starts to drive away. And what does John Cena do?
Still
Sticks his
looking
head
out of
the
it.
window.
Dan, I
As
pointed
he's
that
driving
out to
down
my
the street.
wife too. The whole time, the whole scene. It's so
He's
funny.
watching them.
It's like so uncomfortable. And then it's just like, okay, we're done. And then it's just like he sticks his head out and they're just driving away. And,
Hey,
I mean,
Rod, thanks so much. It's
Yeah.
Ricky.
and just like the random stuff. And I know some of it may be him, some of it's probably the Farrellys. But I mean, just the shit that he says, like the shit wood about the desk, and that he
I
wants
love that
wall,
line.
the wall to be
love that
the
line.
color of ham, like the worst fucking color possible. I like
Ever.
this. I like something in the shade of ham.
And
You're
you,
like-
you saw I'm sorry, you had to have seen the end, right? Where it's got the montage of photos
Yes.
and you see him with the fucking ham swatches on the wall.
And he's got the slice of ham, and they're comparing it. I mean, like
so funny.
what the fuck are you doing? But it's fucking great.
It's so good.
It's absolutely hilarious.
That's
and
all improv
I mean,
too.
I had a spit take when I was watching it when he did that with the Carolina when he's like I want this desk in something of a mahogany. This is a Carolina pine. That's a shit wood. And I spit out like physically. And I was like, that is incredible. Like that this man who knows nothing about this world that he is stepping into comes in and has enough balls to be like, this wood sucks. I want a new desk like tomorrow.
You guys are like bookies.
He's like, not wrong.
I mean, there's more to it than that. But honestly, I'm surprised that, I mean, I didn't catch it. I know, Kevin, you didn't catch it, that you didn't realize it was tied to the Farrellys. And I mean,
Until the
it's
end.
like, yeah, it's like, how did we not know?
Yes.
It's Providence,
their-
Rhode Island.
Providence, Rhode Island, their style comedy.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was.
And Zen Gessner, that's his name.
Who?
That one guy, Zen Gessner, the one guy that is in like
The
every
ugly dude.
Farrelly Brothers movie.
Yeah, from like
One of
Shallow
the,
Hal.
Yeah, one of the
Is he the fry guy?
no, he's the average height guy from
He's the one. He's the
group
investor
out in
from
Seattle.
California.
The
Tall,
who?
skinny one. He's the tall, skinny guy with
He's
the
a tall-
midget. at
you
the
know,
end.
there's three people that come out from
Oh.
Seattle. There's a
Okay.
woman, a little person, and a normal sized person. And the normal sized guy is Zen Gessner, and he's been in like every Farrelly Brothers movie ever.
I guess I didn't even pick up on who that dude was, like at all. Like to know
Well, he
that
looks a bit older.
Okay. It has been. I mean, you know, the Farrelly Brothers, I didn't watch this movie, but the longest beer run.
Yeah. That guy.
Yeah. You're
Zen.
right. That guy is in every Farrelly Brothers movie.
Yeah.
He's
And he's in The Ringer too. He's the boyfriend in The Ringer, but they're
Was he
tied
the-
to that as
was
well.
he the bad guy in Iron Man 3?
No,
No.
that's
That's
Guy Pierce.
Pierce. Yeah. No, that guy that he showed, he's the bad guy in Me, Myself, and Irene, right? Isn't he like the cop looking for him?
He's an FBI agent.
FBI agent. That's what he is. Yes. He's
But
not
I think
the
he
bad
might.
guy.
I think he might be one of the FBI agents that gets killed in the house in Me, Myself, and Irene.
Mm. Who is he in Dumb and Dumber? Is he in Dumb and Dumber, or was that?
Yeah, he's in Dumb and Dumber, and it's
he the
like
husband?
it's a total like throwaway part, but he's there, and I forget what he is, but he's in it.
He's one of Cam Neely's fucking boys. Seabass's buddies. All right. Yeah, I thought this movie was very funny. Like I said, the subtle jokes are great. That fucking that shit wood made me laugh so loud when he sees the girl with the long hair and he's like Rapunzel, Rapunzel. Like, so good.
Yeah.
And then he looks at her and he's like, you know, he's like, people would stop talking shit about your gross hair if you cut it. And she's like, what? People talk shit about my hair. He's like, yeah, you should go for a pixie cut. It would look great with your muskrat face.
Yeah,
He fucking pulls it up and he goes, maybe not.
Maybe not. Shoulder length, mid back.
Dude, and then her
when
hair
people
gets sucked into that return.
Oh
right?
my god!
And she just keeps getting clocked in the head with fucking bowling
so
balls.
funny.
The first sound that the first bowling ball makes when it hits her head is hilarious. It's just like a. I mean, it's fantastic.
Oh. It's so
Yeah.
good. And you know who's like, I mean, I've seen this dude in other things, but you know who's absolutely just a disgusting person to look at is that fucking boyfriend of Wes's. That guy.
Oh my god!
He's
with MS.
oh my god. He's got MS?
I don't know. He's got a crutch.
I mean, in the movie,
Did you notice that he had did you not notice the one crutch?
I noticed the crutch, but I didn't. All right. I thought you were talking about the actor. I was like, oh shit, am I talking shit about a poor dude who can't control it?
It also could be from his boyfriend Wes giving it to him.
Yeah. The when John Cena sees the photo of them, he goes, gay much? And he's like, yeah, we were really going for it that day. And he goes, oh, I'm fucking sorry, man. He's like, I didn't know you. Like, you got the Bible. He's like, he's a little jealous. He thinks because we're a couple. He goes, what? Was that in the Bible? Like he goes and picks it up.
So
He's
now,
wearing a
for me,
short-ass fucking bathrobe.
for me, it's time to say something negative about the movie.
Okay.
I could have done without the transition between when they were kids and invented Ricky Stanicky to today with that whole cartoon thing. I could have done without that.
Yeah, I guess it's the intro to the movie.
That was to like let them know,
crawl,
let us know all the shit they did.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like it was. I could have done without it. I'm not saying that it took away from the movie. I'm just saying if I had to say one negative thing about it, I would say that I could have done without that part.
it's fair.
Noted.
It may have been better if it were like newspaper clippings dropped on the screen.
Right. Yeah, I could have rolled with that.
But I guess that gets a little more serious though, because like if there's newspaper
And they're
clippings,
just delinquents.
yeah,
Or just like
they set
a
someone's fucking
hangover
house on fire.
Yeah, like a hangover ending where it's just like pictures from when they're growing up doing shit.
Mhm.
It was just like the super overly cartoony, weird kind of thing, and I was like,
I think that
Yeah,
was
it
to
doesn't
give it
really add anything
innocence
to it.
so they weren't actual fucking juvenile delinquents. Because if they actually did get in the newspaper for all the things they did, that would have been all over the news in like real life. They would have been like arrested.
Yeah,
probably.
you're
But,
right.
You know, I will say, seconds on steak fries.
Yeah. First take. That's the one they used.
That guy was the worst. What was his name? What was the guy's name? The character?
Polsner.
Ian Polsner.
So good.
Yeah.
What about Gary Polsner? Who's Gary?
Polsner.
Gary Polsner. Gary Polsner. There's a problem. He's dating her cousin Carly. Cousin It.
Cousin It.
So fucking rude. I love that movie. I want to go watch it again right now.
She was a cute girl too. It's not like she was ugly or anything.
She wasn't ugly, but
She had
like
a muskrat face.
she did have a muskrat face. But they might have been adding that too, though. But
With the little
Oh, they
nose
were.
ring, she was cute. Oh.
she's all right. She was all right. I think it's believable that someone like as fucked up as John Cena would have liked her in real life.
Yeah. I mean,
But-
Zac Efron's girl was fucking banging. She was.
I like that
I
she
would never
found
lie to
out.
her.
I like that she found. I thought there was going to be like a big like. I know that there was like 1 or 2 conversations about Zac Efron's like backstory in the movie. I'm glad there wasn't like a scene where it was like his family came back into the fold, and then although I would swear it was going to happen. Like as I was watching the movie, I was like, "There's going to be a scene where Zac Efron's character's like family comes back into the fold, and they're going to be assholes, and like Ricky Stanicky is going to show up and like basically tell him off for Zac Efron." You know, I thought that was going to happen. Like I swear that's how that movie was going to end, and then it didn't really end that way.
I'm glad they kept it vague.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't need it. You just needed John Cena on screen. That's all you
Yeah.
needed.
Exactly.
John Cena.
What did he call him? What did he call the 2 people looking for him? He's like Joe Pesci and his fucking friend, the Sasquatch or
Sasquatch.
something.
Yeah.
Dude, the Sasquatch was the same guy that played Rictus Erectus in
Troy?
Mad Max Fury Road.
Yes, it is. Nathan Jones. That's correct.
Rictus Erectus.
So you know Morton Joe,
Yeah.
and he has 2 sons. There's the huge guy and then the tiny little guy in a wheelchair. The huge guy is Rictus Erectus. That's his name.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same guy. I saw him and I was like, oh, that's Rictus Erectus.
I don't remember him.
I'm the only person.
I don't remember that. I don't remember him from Mad Max at all. But
It's a very small part.
He was also in The Protector with Tony Shaw. Throw it
Oh,
out there.
he's
the
big dude.
he's the dude in Troy. I know
Yep.
that. Like the fucking
But
Wait,
Tori
Jack-
Gaddis, something like that.
Achilles runs up and fucking stabs him in the fucking neck at the beginning of the movie, and whoop, and then like
Oh yeah.
he's that first guy that he kills. But
I'll say another thing I'll say about this movie is there's not a bunch of big names in there. I mean, John Cena is a big name. Zac Efron kind of was a big name, but he's kind of up and down. But I really feel like the people that a lot of people, not household names, really kind of brought it. And the one person I want to highlight in this is Andrew Santino.
yes,
Like,
He was so funny at Dave too. I thought that series was so funny.
Yeah. but he was so good. I mean, the shirtless thing, the baby nursing off of him, just his flippant nature. Like when they ask how the guy that broke all of his ankles asks how the show was, and he was like,
it was great, you piece of shit.
And he was like, he didn't deserve that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was great. Thanks a lot, you piece of shit. And walked away, and he's like asshole. He yells at him, and then he's like, he didn't deserve that. He didn't deserve that. Hey, I'm sorry. It's so good. Yeah, it is really funny. That's what I think is. There hasn't been a movie like this kind of a comedy in a long time.
Absolutely.
Right.
And it actually, I know that streaming services is the destination for comedy now, really, because you can't get them to theaters. People aren't going to go to theaters to see a comedy. Barbie, if it wasn't Barbie and it was just a comedy kind of like that, it wouldn't have done as well. So
Agreed.
I mean,
I don't know.
I think it did so well because John Cena was in it.
he was in it.
Yeah. Concur.
I think the last time I laughed that hard at a comedy in theaters was the tripping ball scene from 21 Jump Street.
That scene is very funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
seems wicked
Especially when Rob Riggle's eyebrows crawl down his face and become a
Yes.
mustache.
Yes. That's incredible.
funny. That and
Oh.
one of the funniest scenes is when Rod falls down the mountain in Hot Rod. That
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a
man.
good
Oh,
one,
yeah.
but I didn't see that in theaters.
Yeah, neither did I. So I don't know. I feel like John Cena to me, and I know we always talk about John Cena, this fucking dude. I'm telling you, Dan, reach out to his cousin and see if you can get him.
I'm telling you what you need to do. I've told you this 2 times now, and you have yet to do it. And you could just literally pull it from this entire section right here. You need to do a mashup of every single time we say John Cena
John Cena.
in one video,
John
in
Cena?
one reel, and tag him in it with just the Random channel or the Random Things podcast logo down in the corner, and it's just John Cena. John Cena. John Cena. We talk about him so much. He's John
I
Cena.
love John Cena.
He is great. John Cena's great. But he's truly, dude. How good was the Oscars with him? The nude scene. He's so fucking funny. Nobody has comedic timing like him. And I know we did the video a couple weeks ago about like who's the best actor turned wrestler, or vice versa, wrestler turned actor. It's definitely him. Nobody has comedic timing like this. Nobody. Absolutely. Batista's funny in Guardians of the Galaxy, but like not like this. This dude is comedy gold. He sells you like you believe that he's a sad loser. You feel bad for him. You know, like he translates well to the screen for these fucking roles he picks. And I don't know.
Deep from his childhood.
Oh my God, that scene was great.
It's nothing but a shit baby.
Who are you to say that I can't act like Owen Wilson?
Wow.
It was so good. It was so good. I loved Ricky Stanicky. And truth, again, like I said, it's been a while since I've seen a comedy like this. The last comedy that I saw that I was unexpectedly laughing my ass off at like this was another John Cena movie. It was fucking Blockers, which I'd never saw. And when we sat down and watched it, me and Sarah, we were like, again, like crying. We were laughing so hard. And I feel like this movie also had me doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So.
It's pretty
Love
good.
you, John Cena.
We do love John Cena. John Cena. All right.
John Cena.
That's going to wrap up this episode. We went long, obviously. Where is he? He's hiding. He's here. He's on the podcast right now. Don't you see him? But this is going to wrap up the episode. Everybody who's watched this, thank you so much. Thanks for the comment today, Smitty. Anybody who's going to watch this, throughout the little cutouts we do of the video, leave us comments. We'll answer comments in these videos. On the live video, we can answer them on smaller videos. You let us know how you want to reach out to us because we'd love your input on the show. So
my hands smell like vomit.
do us a huge favor. We said it at the onset. Click the like button. Subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers by summer movie season. I think we can do it. So thank you so much for everybody here. I'm Kevin Duffy. This is John, Duggan, and Dan. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
See you later.
See you.